Welcome back to the Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including the end of free over-the-air TV for ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS. Unless you upgrade, we'll tell you what's happening, what you need to do before you may lose access to your free over-the-air TV. NBC Universal is shutting down a network this week. We announced earlier, but it's finally here. Universal Kids is going away. We'll talk about some of the details with that. And a new over-the-air TV network is launching. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First though, hey, I had surgery on Friday. I don't know if you can see this very well. I'm on crutches. I had hip surgery again on Friday. And I'm going to be kind of crutching around for a few weeks here. Hang in here with me. But video should remain uninterrupted going forward. But if you're new here, you want to find out more about these stories I'm about to talk about, I'll put a link to each story in the show notes and in the first pinned comment down below. You can find a link to each story there so you can read it for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'll love to hear from you. If you're new here and you like what we do, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. With that said, let's dive into it. Local TV stations want to end free over-the-air TV. Now with this, they want you to upgrade to ATSC 3.0. I should say they want to end the free current version of ATSC, forcing people to upgrade tuners, TVs, DVRs, and a whole lot more if they want to continue to be able to access this stuff for free. Now, the NAB, National Association of Broadcasters, and local station owners are asking the FCC to implement a new deadline of 2028, which seems far away, but it's only a few years away, for major markets and all other markets by 2030. That would allow these TV stations to shut down the simulcast of ATSC 1.0. Now, ATSC 1.0 is the standard of over-the-air TV we've had for over a decade now. If you have an antenna, you have a DVR for over the last 5 years, you probably are on ATSC 1.0. ATSC 3.0 is the new over-the-air TV standard that has some cool new features, but also does things like bring in DRM that has caused a lot of problems with people being able to DVR their favorite programs free with an antenna. It also makes many of the devices that you may own, for example, if you have a Tableau DVR, most HD home runs, TiVo DVRs, and others, they won't work. Most TVs do not have ATSC 3.0 in them, and more. With this though, nothing is set in stone. The FCC has already extended the deadline for local TV stations to continue to offer free over-the-air TV at the 1.0 standard. Currently, they have to basically offer both. If they upgrade to ATSC 3.0, they have to maintain a simulcast of 1.0. It just costs them a lot of money, limits their bandwidth, and things they can do with it. At some point, this is going to happen. The question is when. For you, you may want to start paying attention to when you buy a TV, does it have ATSC 3.0? Unfortunately, most budget-friendly TVs, most Roku TVs, Fire TVs, Google TVs, and the like do not have that. It's been unlovably more expensive, higher-end TVs, but not always. There are a few cheaper ones with it. You can buy additional tuners, things like the Zapper Box and others, to connect to your TV to upgrade it to ATSC 3.0 through an HDMI cable. Again, that's money for people with this. There's also the issue of DRM. A lot of people running into problems being able to access this because ATSC 3.0 brings DRM to the picture, causing trouble there. We're going to keep a close eye on this, but it's probably time, if you're buying a new TV, new things, you start paying attention to ATSC 3.0 if you want to have a use a free over-the-air antenna. I would encourage you. I get over 50 free channels where I live here in Michigan. All right, speaking of channels, cable network is shut down. Now, we broke this news back in January, and now it's becoming official. On March 6th, so later this week, NBC Universal will be shutting down Universal Kids. Now, this is a cable network focused on children. It was one of the least watched networks and saw some of the biggest drops, and now NBC Universal is shutting it down. Not a big surprise here. They definitely saw a big hit recently. Increasingly, kids are watching things like Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Peacock. They're not going to cable companies. I know my daughter she doesn't give any care at all about the live TV services we have on our TV. She just goes right to her YouTube and Disney Plus and Crunchyroll and that kind of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me, but March 6th, some cable operators have said though at 11:59 p.m. on March 5th, they'll shut it down. No official time when the network itself will completely shut down and what that will look like at this time. All right, next up, a new over-the-air TV network is launching. Now, starting when you're watching this today, there's a new over-the-air network called Busted. Now, this targets adults with endless thrills, they say, various real-life ride-alongs, and basically it's a crime network. It focuses on crime dramas, action-packed content, focusing on, quote, a male-skewed audience with this, giving you 24/7 access to more content. Love this. Again, one of the nice things about ATSC 3.0 once we get there is the ability to have even more channels free over the air. So you'd be able to, currently there's 3 to 4, maybe 5 if they're all low quality stations per channel, like the 3.1, 3.2, 3.4. With ATSC 3.0, in theory, they could add a lot more, hopefully bring in more content free over the air with this. But they say this is going to be in partnership with a bunch of TV broadcasters like Nexstar, Gray Media, HC2 Broadcasting, and Scripps that will cover roughly 90% of U.S. households with this new channel. You may need to do a rescan, but check. You may have a new over-the-air channel right now. All right, Fubo reported its earnings, and it was pretty good. Mixed futures, but added some subscribers. It saw overall improvement in its losses, still losing money, but seeing improvement there. And they gave some details about a possible new smaller bundles. We've seen DirecTV recently, Comcast, and others launch smaller, cheaper bundles focused on things like sports and entertainment and the like. And now Fubo, who had said they were going to do this, is giving some more details that yes, they are going to be launching multiple smaller, cheaper bundles for people who want just sports or entertainment or other content, trying to compete with the wave of other ones that have been coming out. Still no firm date on when Fubo plans to do this, but they say it could be done before the Hulu merger if that happens. Link in the show notes if you want to find out more about that. We talked last month now, earlier in February, about Spectrum buying up smaller cable TV companies and internet providers to try to grow its footprint. Now the next one's happening. Liberty Broadband and Spectrum have gotten approval from their shareholders to merge. This will give Spectrum control of Liberty Broadband and help it grow its footprint. One of the big reasons why Spectrum only lost subscribers for TV and internet, but why it wasn't a lot worse, was it's expanding into rural America, both by expanding its network and by purchasing smaller providers. This is one more example of it. Be interesting to see how this plays out. But if you're a Liberty Broadband customer, someday in the future, you could see that bill switch over to Spectrum here very soon. All right, Philo has a price hike for its TV service, but only if you pay through Apple Pay. Now, according to Philo's help page, on March 4th, so today when I post this, the cost of Philo will go up $4 a month if you pay through Apple's prepaid system, and only if you pay through Apple's Apple Pay system. Now, if you pay directly to them through a credit card, debit card, whatever, you will not see a price hike. At issue here is Apple takes a big cut of this, and they take a fee for every transaction, and it looks like Philo is now going to start passing along part of that fee to you, the subscribers. They're not the only ones that have done this. Increasingly, many streaming services have either moved completely away from Apple's pay system or had a higher rate if you're paying through Apple. Again, very simple. They do have instructions. I have a link to it in our show notes on how to, in the story, I should say, in the show notes, and how to switch from the Apple Pay to a credit card, whatever, so your price won't go up. I would recommend you check that out if you pay through Apple Pay with that. And lastly, are you ready for AI news voiceovers? Sinclair is starting to use AI to translate its news broadcasts in real time into multiple languages and broadcasting those for free on their YouTube channels for local stations like San Antonio, Baltimore, Las Vegas, and others are now going to get a simultaneous AI translation of its TV news broadcasts. This is really cool. I think this is great because it opens the local news to even more people without them needing to, let me put that down, without them needing to hire a bunch of people. Usually translations were, the tough thing about it is you hire people, you would do the show, transcribe it, re-record it, and then rebroadcast it. The problem with that is doing it in real time is difficult and meant people with news in other languages had to wait sometimes a day or more to get it. This will allow instantaneous or pretty close to instantaneous transcriptions, and this is really important for things like live breaking news, hurricanes, natural disasters, and others. I think this is a great way to make sure everybody is informed in real time. It's really cool to see the technology used for something like this. Well, that's it for today. You can hear my voices going. Thank you for hanging in here with me. I'm going to work my way back up to the office and edit this video, get it ready for you. I will be around all week, but it's a huge thank you for everybody for your support. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you all again real soon.